D-Lo 404 Boxing. All right, y'all. So, we got Jake Paul fighting Tyron Woodley tonight, on Showtime. Much respect and congrats to both of those combatants. They come out well. I made the best man win. But this is not what this video is about, not that particular fight. It's just about, let me just cut to the chase, man. Y'all need to get off the gas about Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? Get off the gas. Yes, Jake Paul is a superstar in the world of social media, and because boxing is his chosen endeavor at the moment, he's big to his fans when it comes to boxing. And of course, some boxing fans are taking notice, and much respect to him. Doing a pay-per-view, that's a big accomplishment. But quite frankly, he could be on pay-per-view not even fighting a boxer. He could be fighting another person just like himself, who is, pretty much a novice in the sport of boxing, and not even be an athlete like his brother did when he fought KSI. So, and they could be on pay-per-view. And that's a big accomplishment. Nobody's going to pay to watch me do anything. So I'm definitely not trying to crap on him for that standpoint. But what I do want to speak on is the comparisons that I'm hearing. Like I heard, I was watching Ness on the Boxing Voice. Shout out to him. He was interviewing Bill Haney and he had some other people on the panel, and they were talking about, he basically was saying that Jake Paul is doing what these boxers haven't done, but he wasn't talking about the pay-per-view. He went on to speak about Jake Paul fighting Tyron Woodley in his third or fourth fight, whatever it is. I think his third fight. Then he's saying that he's trying to fight Shane Fury in his fourth fight. And basically, saying that guys like Floyd, Muhammad Ali, and all these people, like basically saying if you compare what these guys have done in their fourth fight, or have done by their fourth fight as a pro, compared to what Jake Paul has done in terms of level of competition, that there's no comparison. And I totally disagree with that. And Bill was disagreeing as well. First of all, Jake Paul is yet to fight a boxer. He fought, I can't remember who the first guy was, or maybe it was Nate, but I know he's fought Nate Robinson, a basketball player. He fought a retired basketball player at that. Ben Askren, a retired MMA fighter, and Tyron Woodley, now another retired MMA fighter. Yeah, those guys are combat sports, competitors, but those guys aren't boxers. So, to me, I feel like it's highly disrespectful to compare Jake Paul to the likes of guys like Ali and Floyd and any boxers. I mean, 99% of guys in boxing to say that, he's doing more at an earlier stage because he's fighting these guys in his third, fourth fight or whatever. Like, first of all, like I said, these guys aren't boxers. And then even with Fury, what's his name? I just said his name. But anyway, the Fury kid, he is like 4 or 5 fights in himself and hadn't fought anybody. I think his name's Shane Fury, but that not be the right one. But anyway, whatever his name is, and that's the point. I don't even know his name. So I can't remember what Fury it is. But anyway, the one that looks like a bodybuilder. That's who he's fighting. Supposedly going to fight in his next fight should he get past Woodley, and he may fight him regardless because he has star power. You know what I'm saying? Jake Paul, has star power. He has a huge fan base, a huge following on social media. So even if he lost to Woodley and didn't rematch Woodley and wanted to fight the Fury kid, it still would be a big fight to his fans. So they would tune in and watch it, and they would pay to watch it. And there's no shame in that. I mean, that's good for him. I mean, he's marketed himself well, he and his brother, and it's only right that they're able to capitalize on their marketability and make money off of, their hard work. So, no, I take my hat off to him in that regard, but I'm not gonna sit here and go along with disrespecting these guys, what I'm saying? And I'm not even just talking about the legends, I'm talking about just any of these boxers, and criticize them, or not necessarily criticize, but act like because Jake Paul is fighting two retired MMA fighters in his third fight, and then he's talking about fighting another novice in the sport of boxing in the Fury kid, that somehow that is greater than or even equal to some of what these other guys have done, you know what I'm saying, and what they were doing in the early stages of their boxing career. First of all, they were fighting actual boxers. So that alone, you know, basically just kills that comparison. You know, and I'm not saying, I mean, there are some fighters who in their first, you know, several fights were fighting other guys making their debuts. And some of these guys, you know what I'm saying, throughout history have actually fought guys who weren't boxers. You know, guys who were, you know, the term cab driver, you know, is a real term. You know, some of these guys actually did fight cab drivers and janitors or whoever they could find that could, you know what I'm saying, get in the ring with them and you know, come in there to be food, so to speak. But for the most part, you know, these guys, you know what I'm saying, deserve respect for the way they came into the sport and their progression. And, you know what I'm saying, it worked out for them. You know, for all intents and purposes, we don't know that Jake Paul may not be a flash in the pan. You know, it may be that this is just right now these are gimmick fights and it's hot for the moment, but this may be something that eventually people grow tired of and stop paying attention to and definitely stop shelling out money for. So I'm not gonna, you know, like I said, I'm not gonna disrespect the greats to elevate Jake Paul or anyone else. That's all I got on D-Lo 404 Boxing. Hey, and let me just say one more thing. Leon Spinks, by the time he was in his 7th fight, fought Ali for undisputed in the heavyweight division. That's only 3 more fights than, you know, the comparison being made. So come on, let's get off the gas. I'm out.